you're going through the training, what I tell everybody, you know, don't get me wrong. I know you're going to get to large loss training at a certain point where it's these massive, like long videos. And I'll tell you guys right now, they can get boring as shit just watching them because it's tedious work. The work itself is tedious. I mean, large, I like flip back and forth with my opinion on whether I'd like to just work on a large loss all day versus, 8 small claims all day. Because the small claims, I'll bet they're simple, not a lot of brain power involved there. You just turn and burn them out. And if they're small enough, I mean, you might collect like $200 a pop. And if they're small enough, you'll never hear from them again because what are they going to argue? Oh, the contractor says it's $1,800. You wrote 1,500.
Right.
Most of the time, the insurance company's just going to, they'll handle it. So when you get to that part of the training, I encourage all you guys actually take the time, sit there. It sucks because it's a lot of time involved and even more time if you really want to get in, really want to do everything the way that I'm doing it, because it's almost like hours and hours worth of work that you're not getting paid for. So it can be a little bit frustrating at times. But guys, the only thing I could say is the more you flex that muscle now, the more you tear those muscle fibers, just working on this now. Once you actually get your claim and then it's there, you're going to be much faster with it. A big,
Yeah.
a big issue a lot of people have, especially like the biggest opportunity that people with no training get is when, say they just got their license somewhere, maybe they took an Xactimate course, but probably not. And a big hurricane hits. Big hurricane hits, they manage to get deployed by some, adjusting company, and they get out there and now they have all of these claims and they haven't been practicing, they don't know anything. So that one claim that realistically, especially after this program, should take you no more than 30 minutes to write up an estimate for, and a good estimate at not even 30 minutes, honestly. If it's a roof replacement with 1 or 2 rooms that are damaged, 15-20 minutes, boom, that's in. People that don't have that, they're sitting there for possibly a day, at least several hours working on this one different thing. And you don't want to be that guy, especially if it's a situation where either your first real taste of a high volume of claims is in a catastrophe situation, or you guys just manage to get a client that has a decent volume coming in and you go from, just trying to get your foot in the door, no claims, to getting like 5 in a day, 10 in a day, something like that. You're going to get backlogged real quick. So really focus on that part of your training. And if you focus on that and you're like, man, I could still, use some more, rebuild. I say this all the time, rebuild your house. Do wherever you're living, just do your full floor plan and work on this thing. Spend a week if you have to. Just remove and replace every material. Do the photos, do everything. Analyze each photo. Is there a toilet paper holder on the wall? Are there, the hardware to the drapery? Is that on the wall right there? What type of baseboard is it? Do you have the same baseboard throughout the entire house? Really look at each single material methodically and make sure that you're selecting the correct material inside of Xactimate. We use a macro that's in there, which puts all of those common line items right in front of you. But depending on where you guys are located, I know you guys are all over the place, adjustments may need to be made to that macro. And so this would be, I wouldn't say that this is a good time to start making those changes because you still need to get used to what materials you're going to be commonly running into in your area. But at least do your house and really make sure. So you guys are in Xactimate. I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but when you're working inside of a line item, have you guys noticed if you have a line item selected, usually there's like a little thumbnail picture that shows up of the material.
Yeah.
So if you haven't noticed, if you click on that image, it'll give you a better description of what it is. And I know I've said this at least in a few videos in the scoping thing. It's important, especially when you're new. Click on those pictures because those pictures can be misleading. It could be a picture of something that looks very straightforward, but the actual description of the material, what it involves, and especially what it doesn't include. Those are things that are really important to know, because if you're rebuilding your house, click on that picture, get a full understanding of what that line item includes. And if it's not exactly what you have, see if there is something that's more that is more closer to what you do have. Xactimate does not have every single little thing, but it